Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with a review for Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 10, Episode 2. So let's get to it, shall we? Alright, you guys, so the season is starting off pretty lackluster, I will admit. However, we got 50 episodes to go. So you guys know they can't start off with a bang. They got to be able to maintain the drama. So, I'm exaggerating. It ain't 50 episodes, but you guys know with the reunion, it's somewhere almost close to 30 at this point. So, yeah, we just got to be patient. Let's start with Portia. So, Portia tells us her sister is going to be moving in with her. Evidently, the sister and the baby daddy ain't really, feeling each other like that. Seemed like they never was. It was a strange pregnancy, popped out of nowhere. Well, let me not act like we know these people outside of the damn show and Instagram. But they ain't seeing eye to eye, so she is moving in. Actually, Portia has her mother there. I think Justin called her Beyonce mama a long time ago. Her mama looks good, though. Her mom does look good. She just always remind me of the lady that always go to the old people club. But, yeah, Portia says,
I'm a little worried about me and my sister living together because we work together and we always all together, and I just don't know with her being in my house.
But that's her best friend, remember? So she says that it should work out fine. And when she sits down with the family, she's telling them about this party that she went to for Cynthia's birthday. And wasn't it interesting that she said that she and Candy were in a good place? I was like, where's this place that you call good, Portia? I don't think Portia realizes, or maybe she's just, I don't know if she's in denial or what, but you guys are not in a good place. Now, I do understand that Candy is quite passive-aggressive, and she never really says anything to Portia. She just kind of makes faces and walks away. So, maybe Portia don't know, but Portia has to know. Y'all not in a good place. You're not in any kind of place, really, but anyway, child, that's what the child say. She was more annoyed with Nene. And, of course, she tells them about how the fact that Nene tried to get her fired and, dragged her so bad on Watch What Happens Live. So, she still has a problem with Nene. She ain't never got to talk to Nene ever once again in her life, actually. Now, later on, we see Portia, and, Portia is a vegan. Not even just a vegetarian. She is a vegan. No dairy, no meat. She's got to be the juiciest vegan. And Portia knows she thick. She look good, though. She looks good. I don't know anybody that would kick Portia out of bed. But yeah, I'm just like, now why you look different than all the other vegans I know? You need to tell them what the hell you taking and let them, get up on that too. But she say that she woke and, she's vegan. She watched What the Health, which is what most of you guys have watched. It made you turn to the vegan lifestyle. Hey, if you like it, I love it. I myself could never be a vegan because I love meat. But I love vegetables. I love food. I eat good stuff. I eat bad stuff. I eat whatever, okay? Just in moderation. That has always been my... that's always been my thing. As long as I don't do too much of any of it, I should be all right. So far, so good. Now, we see Cynthia. She's in her new home, okay, Lake Bailey. Okay, she's taking a bath. She says she's 50. We know, Cynthia. We know. She says she's 50 and single. And even though she loves her, alone time, she is looking forward to dating. She wants to have love in her life again. All right, so after she takes her bath, I guess we're to assume bath. Y'all know these teeth. We're to assume that she was going on a date with a guy that she described as Norbit. I was just like, okay. As much as that is one of my favorite shows, I don't know really too many men that want to be described as Norbit. But when you look at him, that is definitely what you get, a little thicker one. She said he got some swag. I was looking at it and I was like, this guy was on Love Connection. Y'all know Love Connection was Andy's show. I'm thinking to myself, like, did you guys really hook this guy up with Cynthia? Because I specifically remember the show. Two girls really couldn't stand him. Then supposedly he found the love of his life and even gave up the $10,000 to be with this girl. Now he on this date with Cynthia. And they didn't make it seem like on the show anyway that he had it going on like he did on Real Housewives of Atlanta, on Love and Hip Hop, on Love Connection. I don't even think there was much mention about him supposedly having this studio and being a photographer and doing all this and doing all that. So, yeah. She sits down with him for this date. And he's 29 years old, or he was about to be 29 years old now. He didn't look that young to me, but if that's what you want to do, fine. But to me, you do yourself a little bit better if you could just find somebody a little bit closer and, that have the same life experience as you. But child, again, if that's what you want to do, honey, look, we gonna roll with that, okay? But even Cynthia feels like maybe he's too young. And then later on, we see Cynthia talking to Noelle, and Noelle is on her way to Charlotte, okay? Evidently, she has a boyfriend up there. I'm thinking to myself, like, how old is Noelle? Listen, I'm not trying to be the unhip mama and everything, but I'm like, she's going up there and spending, they didn't make it clear if she was supposed to be staying with Peter or if she's supposed to be staying with this boyfriend, but I mean, 18, driving up to North Carolina and staying with your guy, like, I don't know. I don't know, you guys, but maybe that's just me. Rocky is old school. I mean, and I guess if she was in college, she would be doing whatever she wanted to do, but I was just like, the freedoms is, okay, all right, let me get off of that. Anyway, she's talking to Noelle. Noelle saying how much she loves it up in Charlotte. Just the fact that she's away from Atlanta, she's not as recognizable, is just way more low-key there, and she probably could live there. I guess if it gets serious with her and this boyfriend, she's gonna be moving up there. Sure. What y'all think about that? Is that just me? I was just like, this girl just graduated. Did she just graduate when Joe graduated? Yeah, I don't know. But listen, I'm not no celebrity, so they lifestyles is a little different. But y'all weigh in on that for me, okay? Cynthia tells her about the guy that she went on this date with. He's 29. Noelle was like, yeah, he's too young. As a matter of fact, he probably would be right for me, okay? And Cynthia agrees. If I'm old enough to really be your mama, I'm really too old for you. Now let's jump on over to Kenya, okay? Cynthia says that when she got her divorce, she just knew that her and Kenya was going to be hanging out, okay? Living it up in the streets. Instead, Kenya snuck off and got married. So now Cynthia is the odd man out. So these two are hanging out, walking the dog, and discussing more about how Kenya met her dream guy, Mark. She said that Chef Roble had invited her to his restaurant. Evidently, her husband is a businessman. He was an investor. He has all these businesses. He does really well with them, and he has a restaurant, okay? And so she went to the restaurant, not really expecting nothing, even saw him and met him, and it was no biggie, okay? But somewhere along the line, Chef Roble was telling her how great he was, and, we still ain't quite got this timeline together because I just keep on thinking about Matt still being in the picture. But we gonna phase Matt out slowly but surely this season, I'm sure. But that's neither here nor there. She's with the guy. She said he's great. He treats her so well. They're happy together. Her wedding was the dream, dream wedding. Everything went well. And then, now she back in the States, back in Atlanta, and having to figure it out. And when I say figuring it out, she's trying to protect him because of her celebrity and because she hasn't been the luckiest in love in the past. And there's still this cloud of suspicion over who she may or may not have paid to be her mate. She's having a hard time, but she's adamant she's going to protect him from that because he does not deserve that. No, he does not. Plus, I'm feeling like he probably should know, but he probably has no idea the amount of scrutiny that Kenya faces on the day-to-day anyway. So later on we see Kenya, and she's saying how it's challenging living away from him because I guess his businesses are in New York. Her business is down here in Atlanta, so at least while she's filming, which is half of the year by the time you do press and, promotion and all of that, Real Housewives of Atlanta takes up probably six good months, 7, 8, probably 8 good months of their lives. So she's, I'm sure, traveling back and forth, but she said that it's getting to be difficult, but this is what they got to do right now. Brandon, you guys remember her boy Brandon, he calls her and she's just telling him how she's feeling a little overwhelmed and how people really just don't want to see her happy. Brandon is trying to assure her that you don't need to worry about that, okay? You need to live your life, and just tell them other motherfuckers out there to kick rocks. I'm sure that's easier said than done. You have to live in a person's shoes to really know what they face. I'm sure Kenya faces a lot. So then, when Kenya gets off the phone, we get the Kenya, crying off scene. I was like, I shouldn't poke fun at what the poor child is going through, but we have to talk about it. hi, yeah, everything is going bad, and we're supposed to go to church today, and you know, Mark is like, everything is fucking with him. Like, he's not eating, he's not sleeping, you know, people don't want me to be happy. Like, all his ex-girlfriends are calling, telling them about me. Like, why are you telling him this? You know, and all this pressure is so much, and I don't want to get divorced. Why y'all won't let this woman be great? Whether or not there is, you know, suspicion over what she's done in the past, she seems to be really happy with this guy. Let her be happy with this man. You guys got her stressed out with the producers. I said, poor Kenya. It's okay, Kenya. Weather the storm. You gonna make it, girl. Now, Sheree, I'm going to try to get through this whole part without talking about her white hair wig. So she goes to see her life coach. We're going to build on this storyline about Bob and Sheree last season. You know, Bob saying that he didn't choke her long or hard enough or whatever it was. Now we dealing with that. So she sits down with the life coach. And she's telling him how she didn't realize, you know, their past relationship has affected her so much. And he's, you know, like, well, what happened? Because I guess he didn't know either. So she starts to tell him there was some physical, emotional, and mental abuse from Bob. And, you know, she's getting all choked up even right then. It's bothering her. And how long ago was this? This was about 10 years ago. Okay, but she's held on to it for so long, you know, because she's had to be strong for her kids. And he was like, well, do your kids even know anything about it? And she says, no, I guess they would have known from the show last season, but other than that, she's never really talked to him about it. So he says, well, you know, you need to get that off of you. Okay, you just carrying around this baggage is too much. So I want you, this is your homework. You go on home and you figure out a way. Don't tell him yet, but just figure out the conversation that you would like to have with your children about your relationship with you and their father. So then we see Sheree and Candy. They are meeting with Shamia for they got to find some African garb to wear to Shamia's bridal shower. You guys know that Shamia married, and Shamia is Nigerian, I believe, and she married a Nigerian man, or Kenyan. I might be wrong. She's African, and her fiance, well, her husband now is African as well. So they're having a traditional bridal shower, I'm supposing, and so you have to wear the garb. So they're meeting at the store. Okay, first we see Candy, and Candy says, I've gotten so close to Shamia over the years, but at the same time, Portia made everything so weird. Why are we discussing Portia, you ask? Well, Shamia tells them that Portia is not coming to the wedding. Now, I thought it was interesting that Sheree's not coming to the wedding either, but I guess Sheree is not as close a friend to Shamia as Portia is. So I mean, that is the reasoning. But even for Sheree to just keep pouring salt on the wound and just be like, oh, your friend not coming? Okay, what's that about? Girl, you ain't going either. Okay, but Shamia tells them that Portia's not coming because she could not find a first class seat less than $10,000. Okay, Candy says, I got mine for $5,000. Sheree was like, bitch, I ain't got that kind of money. I'm still trying to get these taxes taken care of on Chateau Sheree. So yeah, I'm not going, but I'm gonna go on to this bridal shower. But Candy says, you know what, it's fine that the girl ain't coming. That's one less time she got a hug on Portia. But Shamia, you can tell, is a little bothered about it. So then later on, in the strangest little, this was a weird scene for me, but I went on and took it. We saw Candy. She's in her guest home. She's explaining to Todd that Sheree is coming over so that she can help her figure out talking to her kids about it. So she's got a couple of her friends coming over, and they're gonna sit down and hash it out. I was like, with Candy? Like, how you end up being with Candy? But okay. So Sheree gets there with her people, and they sit down, and Candy takes the wheel. She acts as if she's Sheree at first, and she was just like, well, I just wanted to talk to you about certain things that might have happened with me and your father. Sheree still, after she talks it out with her friends, and it's still hard for her, but her friends assure her that you did well, don't worry about it, you're going to be able to talk to them just fine. I mean, the kids are grown now, so it's not like you have to deal with a young mind trying to explain these kind of things. You talking to grown kids who can process shit differently than the kid was. So I think Sheree is going to be okay. It's going to be all right, Sheree. And then lastly, this bridal shower. So, you know, we see Portia and Lauren, they're on their way there. They look cute. They got, I guess it's like a, well, at first I thought it was a tea party. You know what? I'm wrong. They were getting the African garb for the wedding. Yeah, I was wrong. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was for the wedding. And this actually was, her bridal shower was like a tea party. They all had to wear cute little hats. So they're dressed for that, you know, cute little sundresses, flowers and whatnots. Then when they get there, we also see Candy's there. She got on a cute little peel hat almost, and peel box hat, and Sheree is there. So everybody is there. Everybody's got their hats on. Everybody is joining in. Shamia gets there, and Shamia just looks like she's a good time girl. Like, she looks like she is the one that always keeps the party going. So you can already tell that it was about to be turned up. And actually, I'm not sure. This looked like this might have been really her real shower. You know, sometimes they'll put on shit for this, but she had a lot of people there, and anytime you see like older folks there, you know, you can't get these old people out their house, you know, too many times. Like, damn it, she already had a damn party, why are we going again? So I feel like this is probably her real one. So it's cute, you know. They get up there, they play little games. I was like, dang, all my friends are, you know, married and divorced now. But if I was going to a bridal shower, these were some cute games, you know. You had some ping pong balls in this box, you put it on your butt and you try to, you know, twerk the balls out the box, and then they had to put the wieners in the whole game. I was like, oh, I couldn't have played these games in front of my mama. These was more like bachelorette party games to me, because, you know, I remember my shower, I was just like adamant, no strippers. You know, we had fun for the bachelorette party, but definitely not at the shower. Honey Ruby would have been like, what is all this? But anyway, so they have fun. Afterwards, we sit down at the table. We got Portia, we got Lauren, we got Shamia, we got Candy, and we got Karma. I said, oh, Carmen, you old messy self already done made it back into the scene, child. Y'all know how Candy Coated Click take care of that girl. Shamia's just talking about the wedding, and really she already feels married because they had the dowry, which is, you know, this a ceremony that they have in Africa. I read up a little bit on it. I guess it has something to do with the man providing and showing that he can take care of the woman, and, you know, what he has, and something along those lines. My African rock stars out there, y'all know, no disrespect, y'all correct me on what the dowry situation is, but it has something to do real loosely on that. That was also sort of like a ceremony, or that was a ceremony, and evidently Portia did participate in that. However, Portia's not going to this, you know, the official wedding in Kenya. So that conversation comes up, and I was like, okay, Shamia's feeling some kind of way about it, so she wants to put her on the spot, obviously. Even if Portia is full of shit, okay, because Portia was just like, you know, I sent you a doctor's note, said that I can't go. Because she got child, I'll put it on the screen, okay? But, you know, she was just like, it's basically low blood pressure. My rock stars out there, the doctors, the real ones, y'all let me know. Is Portia putting 20 on 10? Is she really not able to sit on this plane long enough? Is she really just not trying to go out there like that? Like, what is it exactly? Because, I mean, I would imagine if you can't sit on this plane for this length of time and you got this problem, then I guess I would try to be understanding. But if she just full of shit, then, you know, we gonna have a little problem. As far as Candy's concerned, she thinking that Portia's full of shit. Portia dogged you out and now she not going to the wedding? Does she really even need her as a friend? But when Portia's over there trying to explain to Shamia, Karma, she over there just adding to it. I was just like, are they really sitting this close to each other that they can understand what the other one is saying? You know, Carmen was like, oh, so she got a doctor's excuse. She always has a doctor's excuse. Let me look at my excuses. When Portia said that she couldn't sit that long, Carmen was just like, yeah, she can't sit that long, you know, because she's not used to having her legs down that long. They're always up in the air. I was like, oh. Oh, ain't no way Portia could have been hearing all of that and not saying nothing. I was just like, Carmen, girl, you know you need to stop. Candy was laughing the whole time, and I was just like, ooh. Now that kind of talk really does start a fight. That's why I don't think Portia heard her. But the shit was tense because Shamia was arguing back and forth with Portia, like, no, you should come. You one of my oldest friends, and evidently they've been friends since she was a child, and she should be there. So Portia was getting upset that she was saying all of this in front of Candy when, you said you in a good place. Maybe you not. So they decide that they're going to leave. The party is over and everybody's leaving. Candy gets in her car and leaves. I'm assuming that damn Carmen was with her. Portia is in her car and Shamia was just like, I just have a problem with you not being able to come. And she was just like, well, I'm trying to explain to you what is going on. And you were saying all of this in front of Candy. Shamia's fussing at her for putting Phaedra first, which I was just like, what does that have to do? So maybe part of the argument was cut out because it's like, what does Phaedra have to do with anything we talking about now? I guess Shamia still want to get off her shoulders how she feel about that whole Phaedra, Portia, Shamia, Candy shit last season, but it was just like oddly placed. Like, why are you talking to her about that? Portia is just like, but I'm trying to tell you that I have a problem and I cannot go. And I told you what it was ahead of time for you to sit here and try to act like you didn't know what I was talking about because because Candy was there. It just makes it worse. All right. And again, the friendship comes into question. Lauren is like, look, I gotta go pick up the baby. Okay, I'm sorry. Y'all having this scene. So Lauren gets in the car and Portia's just like, bitch. I was like, uh-oh. And then she tells us that she prefers to just love Shamia from a distance and let that be that. So what do you guys think about this whole thing? I mean, I would want one of my closest friends to be at my wedding. Unless it really is a serious medical condition where she can't do that, then I would be side-eyeing her as well because it's just like $10,000. That is a grip for a ticket. Okay, Roxanne wouldn't be going not on this dime, but if I had the money that Portia has, then, So I need people to weigh in, okay? And like I said, my rock star doctors out there, the real ones, y'all let me know. Because, we don't need people getting pulmonary embolisms and passing out. And, Portia good for that just on regular dry land. So I'm, up in the air and all of that, we don't know. But, yeah, you guys let me know what you think about it. If she full of shit, then you need to go to that wedding. All right, you guys, that is it. Before I get off, let's just discuss Watch What Happened Live last night. I didn't watch the whole episode. I didn't watch the episode out, y'all. Rocky had to take it on to night. But I did watch enough clips this morning to see that Candy, look, the bottom line is Candy didn't really want to do this to begin with. Candy kind of got coerced into it from the very get-go. And now the result is this. Remember I told you guys a long time ago that I felt like there was so much water under the bridge. You guys know that Candy is not the most forgiving person. And yes, the Scott sisters do have their own share of a little bit of shadiness, but ultimately Candy never really wanted to do it, so she never was really 100% on board. And I think she kind of felt like she was just getting forced into everything because how was it going to look to their fans if they didn't do it? Okay, and we all know that Candy don't need this. Candy don't need it, really, truth be told. Tiny don't need it, not financially. Tiny probably needs it just because she would, want to be back independent and doing something that she wants to do. But even though now that she's back with T.I., if they had even broke up, I'm sure he doesn't really want her to be back out on the road and really grinding like that on that album. So we got the Scott sisters that are left, and so the girl apologized. And I guess at some point she was sincere, but I guess probably now with so much fucking water under the bridge and everybody is so annoyed with each other that now is getting back to the point where it's just like, fuck it, I'm tired of being nice, I'm tired of trying, but yeah, Candy didn't want to do it. And I guess if I really thought about it, she probably should have never made herself even agree to any of it, because now you got all these people with these expectations, and So she should have just left it alone from the very beginning. Let the radio thing happen where Tamika did apologize to her, and everybody move on with their lives. Now, people are saying that they could go on and make this album without without Kandi, but really they can't. As much as Candy's voice gets on our nerves just as a solo act, Kandi is a strong alto when you listen to the harmony of that group. And if Kandi is not there, you got soprano, you got somewhere alto, contralto, second soprano in there. You need that strong bass line to come in, and Kandi is that. So, and then Kandi is the draw, like Kandi is the name. Okay, she has the biggest following, and I'm sure that they could bank on her being a part of it. It's a group. Escape is a collective. It's a group, and without Kandi, I just don't see it happening. So that's my opinion. But when I just looked at them, clearly there was so much tension. Tamika looked like she tired of trying to be nice to Kandi. Okay, Kandi looked like she want to tell Tamika off. Okay, Tiny looked like she was pissed at everybody. So I was afraid something like this would happen. And it's too bad because, like they said, they're selling out shows and everything. The demand is there, but if everybody can't get on the same page, then we just can't make it happen. So that's it. And that's my little word on that. Let me get off of here, you guys. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.